Before I say anything like, oh, what did you do to his face, or why did you make him look like a generic white guy, listen. It was hard, okay? Hey everyone, and welcome to Everything I Watched in July plus art. Really, that's the concept and I'm running with it. First is World War Z, also known as the closest thing to the perfect zombie movie humanity will ever achieve, and I'm not arguing with anyone on this. It's a film from 2013 and it has quickly become one of my no-brainers for some background entertainment while I draw. That doesn't sound like a great thing, but trust me, it's well constructed, amazing action, really fast-paced, you're thrown pretty much immediately into the action, and it's quite good at building tension throughout the narrative. I know I would never survive in a zombie apocalypse period, but with the zombies from this movie in particular, I'm damn lucky if I get to take myself out before the inevitable. Next, I watched Black Swan, which is my second favorite movie of all time, losing only to The Parent Trap. I'd be lying if I said I haven't watched this movie at least 50 times, but what Darren Aronofsky was able to create here is, for all intents and purposes, a masterpiece in the truest definition of the word. It's his greatest achievement as a director as of yet, and Natalie Portman's best performance too. It's a perfect representation of the obsessed artist trope with the toxic and high-stakes environment of the ballet world, where precision is key but letting go is what affects Nina, our protagonist, the most. Next, I watched Passengers. It's a film from 2016 whose biggest villain was the editor. The story could have been completely different with a lot more stakes and tension, but instead what we got was honestly quite a boring movie, all things considered. It's about Jim and Aurora, two passengers aboard the Avalon ship headed towards Homestead 2, a planet humanity will colonize. And these two passengers wake up 90 years before they were supposed to. Actually, Jim is the only one to wake up before he was supposed to, but then he obsesses over Aurora, played by Jennifer Lawrence, and decides to wake her up as well. Sounds very interesting, but apart from the ambience and overall good performances from the cast, the movie is quite dull, and a lot of my issues with it could have been fixed simply by taking the middle and putting it in the beginning of the movie. As soon as Aurora finds out Jim woke her up, then we see what actually happened. In my opinion, it would have been a lot more interesting to see it that way, but alas, this is what we got instead. Next, I watched War of Worlds. It's a Tom Cruise film with young Dakota Fanning, which in itself is already an indicator that the movie slapped. It's from 2005, but really doesn't feel all that dated. The CGI holds up quite well, and I had forgotten how good the movie was before randomly seeing it pop up at Netflix and deciding that it was a good afternoon watch. It's about an alien invasion if you're not familiar, and it's actually one of the best underrated alien movies out there. And before I say anything like, oh, what did you do to his face, or why did you make him look like a generic white guy, listen. It was hard, okay? That's what happens when you decide to make like 6 illustrations in 3 days to post a video like this, because I literally just had this idea and I'm gonna roll with it. Next, I watched A Simple Favor, and it's just a silly movie about a woman who decided to pull a Gone Girl on her husband and best friend, and it's pretty much a comedic retelling of that trope of the psycho wife who vanishes and pretends to be dead. I've watched this one numerous times, and it's a situation just like World War Z, where I just put it on the background and it's generally entertaining to watch while I draw. And lastly is the movie Fingernails. It's from 2023 and it's pretty much the most random watch of this month. It's set in a world where you can determine the compatibility of two people by testing their nails on a machine. It basically tells them if they are soulmates or not. And the protagonist, Jessie Buckley, is in a relationship with a man who has taken the test with her and proves to be her soulmate. But then, as she starts working in one of the testing facilities, she starts falling for this guy played by Riz Ahmed and starts questioning whether or not the test is right and whether or not we are truly meant to love just one person forever. It's a beautiful movie and I'm really happy I watched it, and it would all be absolutely perfect were it not for the last 10 minutes or so. It just fell completely flat, and it's really upsetting because with 30 more minutes of the story we could have resolved the whole thing and everyone would be happy. Still, highly recommend, but try to make up your own ending if you watch it. This was a very dry month in terms of films watched, only 6, and I haven't really watched any TV series either, and that just feels wrong. But it's because this past month I moved to another country on my own, and it was really hectic and really confusing, so I didn't exactly have the time or energy to watch or draw many things. Worry not though, because next month I'll have a lot more to show you, so stay tuned for that. And tell me what you think of the movies I mentioned in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye everyone!